Uche is a totally Enugu boy. I started my life as a youth corper. So you can imagine what happens to a young man who went to market with 10,000 and got 60,000. Because with this kind of profit, what can you do? Who is Uche Nnaji Nwakaibie?
Sure.
Uche is a totally Enugu boy. Total, you know, and that is why I have passion in what Enugu has become today. I was born here. I did my primary, my secondary, and then the university education in Enugu. Everything I did as a young man was in Enugu. So I know in and out of Enugu and Enugu State. Everything in and out. That is why it pains me and pains most Enugu boys that Enugu has derailed to its present position. I started my life as a youth corper. That is when I started my life. When I was at the 80th month of the youth service, because I lost my dad when I was in class 3 in secondary school. So I have an able mother, a mother that was focused, and was family oriented, and was determined to see the kids go through all levels of education. All levels, was determined, and she achieved it. All my siblings went through the 4 walls of the university before going to join the world. And you know, it was very, very difficult at the time because in Nkano as a place, and Abuge in particular, that you see everybody jumping in to do business, either electronics business or importation. You know, she was able to hold us and detail us to go through university and forget about making money immediately. That after education, the years are there, the rooms are there, for you to still go and do importation, both in electronics and other businesses. And that is what happened in my family. So I give kudos to her, you know, and that was what led to the respect I have for the women, because women are usually very focused when they want to focus, you know, very focused, and they are family oriented, you know. They can starve, they can do all sorts of things to make sure their kids eat and their kids become hungry. So I passed through that with my mom, you know, trying to strengthen my siblings, and today, to the glory of God, my kid brothers are focused, they are strengthened, they are determined in whatever area they are choosing to go. We are 4 in the family, all boys. So I never had a sister, and that was what explained my early shyness growing up. I was a very shy person, you know, very, very shy, to the extent that I cannot look a woman in the face at all. Even when I was in the university, I can't look a woman at the face, you know. So, but all these things I experienced growing up in life, and I thank God for that. And I believe it's part of the humility I have today, you know, because if you become shy in a young age, that shyness will drive the humility, you know. So, after my university education, you know, I'm a lion.
Sure.
After my university education, I went to youth service in the University of Jos. In Jos, you know. And while in Jos, at the 80th month of the service, you know you have to do 11 months.
Yes.
The 12th month you use for leave. They give you leave at the 12th month. So at the 80th month, my mother called me. She was holding the whole businesses my dad was doing, you know. So she called me and they said that she wants me to get a job and then start my life, you know. So I said, okay. So what do I do? He said she has a 10,000 naira for me, you know, that with this money, I should get myself a car, you know.
Like 10,000 naira can get a car then?
4,000 naira. It's a brand new.
Whoa.
Brand new, not just getting a car, not Tokumbo, not anything. 504 at that time goes for 4,000 naira. 4,000 naira is so much money then, because at the time in question, 75 kobo is $1.
All right, I see.
75 kobo is $1. So you get a 504 SR for 4,000 naira. 504 GR, 4,005. Flat boot Mercedes was 11,000 naira. Because Ezodeni Bonara at that time, yes. All these guys following him, he bought about four flat boot Mercedes and dashed them off brand new. You know, he dashed them, you know. And Santana that came in, that was the craze of the time, you know, was selling for 7,000. And that's the kind of car we like to use. But then, if I buy a Santana, how much is left for me? You know? So, so she said I get a car, then I get myself a house, a flat for 1 year. A flat for 1 year in Jos and in many places was 8,200 per annum.
Oh, so you're able to buy a car and then get a house?
Get a house, furnish it. But when I finish all these things, I look at it. I will not be able to move. I will have little left for me. Though I will be comfortable because I will be working at the time. To get a job was easy, very, very easy. You know, either in private sector or in public sector, it's very easy. You can decide to be changing jobs every month. It is there. And if you decide to go into business, it looks even better. Because in everything you put hand, you must make profit. There's no two ways about it. You must, whether you like it or not, in everything you get, you must make profit. The economy was buoyant. Everything was going well. Very, very well. And if you decide not to go to where there's a lot of heat, any city there's a lot of hustling and bustling, you can come down to Enugu. And the things to do are there. Businesses, you know, employment, everything is here in Enugu. So it takes a lot of sacrifice and a lot of, you know, courage to leave Enugu, because Enugu was, everything was in good order. Infrastructure, education, business, security, everything was in employment, everything was there, in good order, you know. So it would be a major sacrifice to leave Enugu State to go to another place, you know. Major sacrifice. So I was contemplating whether I should come down to Enugu and get a job and all this, stay in Jos, you know. So I looked at it. I said, no, let me even try if there's a business to do with this 10,000.
Oh.
So I decided to buy myself a ticket to London. I have some few friends that made me take that decision and make that sacrifice. You know, I have Bobby Mbakwe, my very close friend. They live in London. He stays in London. He's finished school and doing business. You know, so I called him and said I want to come. He said, okay, that is there. I should let him know when I'm leaving. He has a business called S-Line Enterprises, X-Line. He has it with one British guy and one Portuguese guy.
And they deal on what?
And
they deal on what?
General merchandise. They get goods, they export to any country, including European countries. They were at that time contemplating whether to send some containers to Nigeria. But the person that will anchor it for them was a problem for them. They even visited Nigeria for that. It was a problem. So So they have been doing that, procuring goods and sending to our parts of Nigeria. So I told him I was coming. He said, okay. Then I bought a ticket. I was still doing my youth service. I bought a ticket for 400 naira to and fro, UK. 400 naira. And that time they just started, when they lifted, they started giving visa to Nigerians. Because before, under Commonwealth arrangements, being a member of the Commonwealth, as a Nigerian, you can just enter Britain or UK without visa. But that was when they imposed the visa requirements. So, but it wasn't as bad as now, when you have to apply and wait for months before you even get a shot. At that time, you apply in the morning, you get it. You can wait and take your visa. So there was no restriction as such. So I applied, then traveled to UK. My friend picked me up from the airport. It was too cold at the time. So every day I go to their office with them. We chat, I look at what they do. The money I have was too small to do the kind of thing they are doing. So one day, after about 3 or 4 days, I told him, let us even go to a pharmaceutical wholesaler. We got to one Indian shop, we were wholesalers, and we bought a Clafuran injection. Clafuran is in vials. So I bought 1,000 pieces, so I took it back to Nigeria and left it in Lagos. I gave to many people to sell for me at 30 naira a vial. But when I got back here in Enugu, a friend of mine too is a son of the Chief Medical Director, National Orthopedic Hospital, Dr. Jacob Igwe, the father. And we are very close. It's just family. So when I came in the evening to their house, their father said, that he hasn't been seeing me. I said, just like your son, I'm doing my youth service. He said, where? I said, Jos. He said, okay. I said, but I just came back, I traveled. He said, what did you go to do, holidays? I said, no, I went for business. I said, what did you deal on? What do you deal on? I said, I brought some pharmaceuticals, Clafuran injection, to be precise. He shouted, he says, they need it. I said, is that so? I said, yeah. He said, where is it? I said, it's in Lagos, that I gave it to the retailers to sell for me. Yeah, can I bring it? I said, yes, why not? He said, okay. He gave me a note to go and see the chief pharmacist in the National Orthopedic Hospital. A pharmacist, Mr. Chukwueke, but both of them are deceased now anyway. I went and saw Chukwueke the next morning. Chukwueke expressed surprise that I have because it was very scarce, especially one coming from England. It was very, very scarce. So he said, am I sure I have it? I said, why not? He said, how many? I said, 1,000 vials. He said, what? He said, can I get it? I said, why not? I said, give me tomorrow, I'll bring it. He said, okay. So that day, I had to fly to Lagos, collected it. The next morning, I came back to Enugu with it. Took it to orthopedic. They were so excited. They took the whole 1,000 at 60 naira. At 60 naira a vial.
Wow.
While I was targeting 30 naira, in this supply, I got it at 60 naira. So you can imagine what happens to a young man who went to market with 10,000 and got 60,000. You can see what I mean. So it became business all the way.
So you can say this is how your business started.
That is it.
All right.
Because with this kind of profit, what can you do? What can you do? It has to be business all the way. So that was the encouragement. And you remember that's the first move I made. And that shows you how favored I am.